23-year-old missile they all have to beat. And as the tournament's progressed, so has the rocket, and he looks more than capable of lifting this title for the very first time. Ladies and gentlemen, into the semi-final. Will you welcome, please, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent with nothing to prove in a career that has put the record books to sleep, and surely no one will ever achieve the success of the greatest player the game has ever produced. Can I ask you to welcome a legend, and the legend is Stephen Hendry.
Well, there's a black market in tickets, not surprisingly, as there is right up until Monday night's Embassy World Championship final. There it is. Here's the two they've come to watch tonight. John Williams, the referee, getting it underway for us, and words from the commentary box, words of wisdom from Willie Thorne and Ray Evans.
Towards the blue, fairly comfortably. Flicked off the edge of the pack. Just not quite got the right angle on the blue, but this was a very, very good pot. It's always nice to get one of these long pots in just to settle the nerves in any match, especially in probably Stephen Hendry's biggest match of the season. He's got nothing to prove, but perhaps in his own mind feels he's got something to prove this evening.
6.
Because black and pink are both out of commission at the moment, Stephen has a slightly thinner angle on the blue than the desired angle to play the kiss, but he may still decide to play the cannon into the pink. We've said it so often, there's only one player in the game plays that shot anything like as well as Stephen, and that's his opponent. They both play that shot to perfection. Yes, I think in fairness, Ray, it was probably Stephen Hendry who invented the shot in the olden days, and even in the Davis era. We used to just play the stun down into the pink, and quite often you would lose the white. It would just come off the pink half ball and end up near the black cushion. At least if you're playing with a screw, the white always stays in the middle of the table, and that's Stephen Hendry's own invention, I'm sure. Not very often you see that. The reds had not dropped down to the rail and had stuck in the top, and were in the view of Stephen, so referee John Williams making sure they drop there in future. Well, Stephen now has the pink available into at least 3 of the scoring pockets, possibly 4. It may be available into the right-hand corner as well. So this is developing into a frame-winning chance. Quite clearly going to play for the pink again this time.
32.
And after he moves this red, the red next to the black will be available. So the black will soon be in play.
$33. $39. $40.
The way that Stephen has played this pink tells us that there's a plant available here. Not too sure whether the black
46.
pots. We'll probably have a little look at that for you in a minute to see if there's the two reds. That's no problem at all with the plant. Now, if the black's available, Stephen Hendry doesn't have anything to do with the cue ball here, but just to stop it dead. Well, what do you think at home? You can certainly see the left-hand jaw, but can he see the centre of the pocket? We'll soon know after the way he plays this shot. Yes, he's taking no
47.
chances, so this black must be clearly available. This a very
54.
controlled start by Stephen Hendry. Just 2 or 3 shots away from being sure of winning the frame, and at his best he's brilliant at putting pressure on his opponent from the first shot. And he looks completely in control. There you see it, just one more red.
61.
So it's going to be interesting to see how
62.
Ronnie reacts to this. He got off to such a brilliant start in very calm style against John Parrott. But he's going to have to react to this start from Stephen.
It's uncanny
68.
how in the 80s Steve Davis used to virtually win every first frame he played in tournaments. Hendry did it up until the latter part of the 90s, and he seemed to get that little edge
69.
again. It's a remarkable performance just to make a frame-winning break at your first opportunity on the table. And remember, this is a new table for both these two gentlemen. They've not practiced on it. And to come down first shot and have a slight chance of a century is quite remarkable. The difficult red is the one in the
76.
middle of the three, and I think he's just finished perfect to play that, so no good chance of a century now.
77. $83. $84.
That little nudge on the red makes his task of clearing up that much easier.
$91. $92.
Yes, he just shrugged. He's won this frame. He's got off to a wonderful start, but he's a little annoyed, as you see, nodding to himself. He's on just the wrong side of the black, which makes it tough to get to the yellow. And
99.
the crowd appreciate the significance of that shot. I should think, without knowing that Stephen Hendry has had less centuries in this year's Embassy World Championship than any, bar perhaps last year when he went out in the first round. But this is only his third.
104.
But he's been remarkably consistent. And this is a wonderful start.
I think the key shot in this break, Ray, was the way he played from black to yellow. He hadn't had time to get the pace of the table, but judged to perfection to get onto the yellow. This has been a truly fantastic break. And this is not too dusty either.
113. $190.
126. Absolutely tremendous first frame from Stephen Hendry, fully appreciated by this crucible audience. What kind of match are we in for here? Stephen Hendry immaculately takes the first frame.
Well, Ray.
Again, perhaps a little ambitious, and immediately there's an easy red and a black to follow.
One.
Yes, that's played 3, lost 3 as far as the long pot's concerned in this match. And very soon he may have to just wait for an easy opportunity just to get a few points on the board, just to settle down. Remember, this has not been Ronnie O'Sullivan's best season. Hasn't really played at the latter stages of any tournament since he
8.
was in the final where he lost to John Higgins in the Liverpool Victoria Charity Challenge, and that's some 3 or 4 months ago. It's interesting that Frank Callan's been working again with Stephen Hendry this week, Ray, and it's extremely noticeable. His pace around the table is just a fraction slower. His cue actions are a fraction slower, and he really does look almost back to his best.
Yes, I think he's just taking that extra second to weigh the situation up, and while things are going well, and he plays at this pace, he'll take some stopping, but you know it can change. A little bit of bad luck, lapse in concentration, and things can change. But again, the shot we remarked on in the first frame, off the blue into the pack, the perfect contact, and he's immediately got a very good chance.
23.
And he really did hit that blue so well. He actually screwed off the pink completely into open play. Oh, what a great chance this is. Again, black available into both pockets. O'Sullivan
28.
already in trouble in frame 2.
Yes, Ronnie has not had any kind of easy chance, just that we expected him so much, I think, after his last round display to pot everything, and not quite so easy at the semi-final stage against an opponent of Stephen's calibre. And we mustn't lose sight of the fact that it's 4 sessions over 3 days.
36.
And a lot can change.
37. 44. 45.
When getting onto the red that's loose at the bottom of the pack, that will open the red to the extreme right of that cluster of 5 into the opposite corner, so no need to play any cannons just yet. He can win the frame without removing those 4 reds around the pink. So frame winning opportunity. And we're now
52.
179 points without reply. O'Sullivan yet to pot a ball.
$53. 60. 61. 68. 69.
76 the lead. 67 on the table.
76.
And this audience here spellbound at the moment with this, the sheer quality of the display from Stephen Hendry. You can hear a pin drop. Well, he didn't get that one quite right, but had to go in a little more delicate that time, but
82.
still easily enough to open a 2-frame gap.
Stephen Hendry, 82 and the break.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan isn't coming to the table for a bit of practice. He's accepted that he is 2-0 down due to a tremendous opening 2-frame. Another good opening pot from Stephen. And if he gets the pink, there's a red awaiting.
And if there was ever a shot that Stephen would have gained confidence by after that 15-minute interval, that was the shot. And that's the cue action that's won over £5 million in his career.
8. 15.
15
16.
Well, he's a thinner contact on the red here, and well, his choices. He can try and nudge into the pack. He can play the safe way, go down for the red in the balk area. But the way he's playing and with confidence, I think he'll go into the pack. And he's a little unlucky. That could have gone so much kinder.
23.
And choice of shot, well, limited from here.
It was a clever effort from Stephen. He knew that those three reds that were together, the three reds that were together in that break, he couldn't afford to hit the pack because it was very flat at the back. He had to kiss them half ball. And let me just show you again this shot he was playing. Now, with the three reds being flat at the back, if he hit any one of those full ball, he would have been no good. Now, purposely, he's played to hit them half ball, and as Ray has alluded to, very, very unfortunate. He couldn't have played that shot better. But if he hit one of those reds full ball, the white would have just stuck onto the three reds.
Stephen Hendry, 23.
Good opening shot on the double. He knew he could take it, knowing that he wasn't going to leave a lot, but not always that easy to judge. And now a good shot on the black has got him nicely on the red to the middle. He's had a good look at the pink, which would suit him if it would pot. Well, he's played that with a lot of right-hand side, trying to get the cue ball across to the blue, and he's pushed the cue ball right off line, and that's a bad miss.
One. Stephen Hendry, 1.
Well, that was played with tremendous power, and Stephen was trying to manufacture an angle a little bit, but I don't think it hit the jaws of the pocket. I think it's just sheer power that it's, well, I'm pretty sure that's gone into the pocket and come out. We can't quite see whether it caught the jaws, but it didn't sound like one that had jawed there, Willie. It looks as if it was the sheer pace that brought it out.
Yes, it happened so quick, Ray, but I did think it just flicked the jaw, in fairness, and then flicked the other jaw, and quite clearly because it was purely pace. It didn't go in the pocket, but didn't do any damage. But he finds himself in a little bit of trouble here, but it's a rather tightly packed bunch of reds, so you'd expect Stephen to rest on the reds just below the pink.
Certainly after the sheer excitement and brilliance of the first 4 frames, it's nice to see what a normal frame of snooker is played, because this is how most of the frames go. There's a fair bit of juggling for position, the odd miss, and then somebody gets the break, but the first 4 frames was sheer perfection. Well, I'm pretty sure that this red will tempt Stephen. It's just off straight. His long potting has been pretty good so far this evening, and should be able to get down for the blue or pink.
I'm not sure what his success rate is on long pots this evening, but it's got to be virtually 100%, and this one went once again straight into the middle of the pocket. Be careful he doesn't kiss the pink here if he's trying to get onto the loose red. Yes, he's just come inside the pink, so he's left himself the long red. So another good long pot required. Concentrate is so hard and getting high on the blue, he's actually overscrewed it. Now the in-off may be on if he plays the blue dead weight, so he's going to have to be very, very careful here. We'll be playing for the red on the black spot. That just shows you the knowledge of Stephen Hendry. That close to the in-off, but he knew that if he potted the blue in the centre of the pocket, cue ball would hit the right-hand jaw first, and can screw into the pack here and get onto the black. What an aggressive shot that was, and a little bit unfortunate.
30.
Well, he's got a decision to make. A thin cut on the black, or a blue to the far corner. I'm fairly sure it won't be a safety shot. It'll be an attempt to carry it on, although the way he's looking now, maybe he's putting the boot in and saying, I'm not going to give Ronnie an easy chance.
Stephen Hendry.
And I think that proves just how cool and straight his thinking is. I mean, he's potting so well that you think he could take anything on, but he chose the right shot in the circumstance, I'm sure.
Not exactly sure whether he can play this pot and avoid the kiss on the black. It's very, very close. It will determine whether he plays the pot or not. Well, yes, he felt that he could miss the kiss on the black, but because he hit it far too thick, this has given Ronnie the chance he's been waiting for. And how important could that green be that Stephen Hendry just put safe?
One. Seven.
Well, I think Ronnie perhaps has finished in. He wanted to get one of the three reds, I think, to try and get on the black, but I think the red above the pink maybe is the only one. Or can he get between them? He can. Perfectly. So the black is in play now, or the pink.
Yes, the pink would avail better position, but it's slightly more difficult. And the reason it would avail better position is just that shot was there. Now has a straightforward opportunity to get the black back onto its spot.
40.
Now, With the red being in baulk, it's unlikely that Ronnie's going to play 5 reds and 5 blacks. And what it means now, with any other colour, blue or below, it means that Ronnie O'Sullivan will need the green. And that just shows you how important that shot was from Stephen Hendry. He'll be 25 in front on the yellow with all blacks.
23.
So consequently, if it doesn't get to that kind of situation, the green will be needed.
$29. 30.
Or you either play to move the red or play for the red up near the brown. Just depends on how he sees the shot. He's played the cannon. It's gone too far.
37.
Himself a chance of taking this frame now.
I just wonder whether Ronnie's going to look at the scoreboard and see whether he needs the black off this red. The angle he has now, he can't get that. He's just looking at the scoreboard now. He knows that when he's done his little maths here that he cannot get on the black from here, so he's forced into possibly playing for the brown. What a tremendous red previously potted to get onto the black. Well, there's an angle there with a lot of running side if he wants to risk it. Now the green's going to be the problem.
$48. 50.
Great shot. He looked for the angle, he found it. And one good pot on the green to this corner. Well, has he covered it?
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
I
50.
think he might have just covered the path to the green, although Stephen having a look, well, there you see it down the line now, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Stephen can just bend this and finish on the brown.
So surprised the pace that Ronnie played that green. If he'd have stunned it in just normal weight, Ronnie O'Sullivan couldn't have missed the green by chance. As you say, Ray, that could be very, very important in this match. We're about to talk about the credit of O'Sullivan to come back from 3-0 behind without scoring some points for 325 shots. And then all of a sudden, from what looks a certainty 3-2, it's now odds on
7.
it's going to be 4-1.
$12. 18. 25 on the frame, Stephen Hendry.
A frame that Stephen Hendry thought he'd lost. This young man played 2 marvellous shots to give himself a chance to win it. He didn't. Stephen now leads by 4 frames to 1.
Just got it too thin. Pot's on this time.
just going into its 26th minute, which is easily the slowest of the match. And
9.
Stephen's been winning the ones with one visit, and he's now won a couple of slightly tactical frames. So Ronnie O'Sullivan at the moment not able to find an answer.
20.
So Stephen Hendry now assured of an overnight lead. 5 frames to 1 in front of Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, a very big frame for Stephen Hendry now, 5-1 ahead. Cliff, I know it's best at 33, but worrying times for O'Sullivan?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously the match could be 7-1 overnight.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that Ronnie sort of threw his cue at the green ball there, you know, the previous frame, and 3-2. And, you know, I mean, Hendry, I think, could possibly, you know, have rocked a little bit there, you know, 3-2 and then possibly 3-all. And then, you know, Ronnie could have been 5-3 in front.
Yeah.
But now, you know, it could be 7-1 for Hendry, you know. Ronnie just has to gather himself up here, but, you know, he doesn't seem to, you know, be playing, you know, as deliberate, you know, in a crucial situation that he's in now, as he should, I don't think.
Well,
That's Ronnie, though, isn't
I
it?
know it's best at 33, but how crucial are these next 2 frames for O'Sullivan?
Well, 5-1, 6-2 down, you know, 5-3 down, 7-1 down would just be a killer, you know. I don't know that, you know, Ronnie's capable of coming back from 7-1.
I mean, you can see the body language of the 2 players there. O'Sullivan, does he look as focused as he could?
Not at the moment, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, he's a little bit shattered. You know, from the start, you know, I mean, it's still the effects of, you know, Steve winning the first 3 frames.
Yeah, sure. He's got a lot of work to do. OK, let's see if he can do it. Let's rejoin our commentators, Ray and Willie Thorne.
2 more frames this evening. And he desperately needs to win at least 1, and really to make him feel a little more comfortable overnight, both of them. But he's going to have to up his game a little. Stephen Hendry not quite blowing as warm as he was in the first 4 frames, but he's still looking pretty good when he has to be. He had a good look to see what he would leave. As long as he didn't leave the cue ball near the cushion, he wasn't going to leave the red down the rail. But the red that he's taken has rolled down the table to give Ronnie a chance. But his long pot in has lacked a little tonight so far.
We've always talked about this genius at the table, about frame of mind, and it really would be a feather in his cap if he can come out of this session no worse than 6-2, because he would still be in with a chance of winning this match. Things like that, when he gets disappointed, he's left himself hampered over the red. This makes his black a little bit more difficult, but that's a good pot.
Yeah. 11.
Always difficult when queuing like that, because if you impart any sort of side on the cue ball, you're virtually assured to swerve the cue ball. But as it is, he's finished perfectly on this red.
12.
Good job he hit it slow.
$19. 20. 27. 28.
So Ronnie has left an angle to go into the reds. Well, he's not got them as nicely as he would have liked. He didn't
35.
seem to hit it with the same sense of timing there. He really didn't get into them, and he might have a red to the middle, though, one that might slide past the other one, but the cue ball's going to hit the little cluster, so it's not straightforward.
Well, is this the time to attempt a shot like that, Ray? He's 35 points in front and really is the biggest frame for him of the match so far. This is close.
36.
Great shot.
Just looking to see whether the pink will go onto its own spot. I don't think it will, but he won't mind because the blue spot's clear.
Well, this is where we're going to have to leave it just as Ronnie O'Sullivan starts his fight back, currently trailing by 5 frames to 1. The story of the day so far, Stephen Hendry back to his very best. You can join David Vine on BBC 2 at 10 to 10. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. Until then, from everyone here in Sheffield, good night. Top snooker these days is all about punishing mistakes, because there's very few mistakes being made by the top players these days.
You always have a little spell in certain matches where the other player plays well, and you've just got to try and hang in there.
The final last night with Ronnie O'Sullivan was simply breathtaking. This was the opening frame of the match. Hendry, as you see, already on a break of 113 with just the pink and the black to come. What a declaration of intent this was from the 6 times champion. He has said many times that his only remaining ambition in the game is to become the first man ever to win the world title 7 times. He remains very much on course. A century for Hendry in the opening frame. He then followed that with an 82 and an 86. Ronnie O'Sullivan hadn't yet potted a ball. O'Sullivan took the 4th, but then Hendry took the next 3. It was 6-1 before Ronnie O'Sullivan won the last frame of the evening. Hendry firmly in the driving seat.
1. Seven. 8. 40.
Yes, Ronnie's played for the red in the right corner. There was a choice of 2. He's looking at the one in the left corner. I think in potting this, or potting the one in the red corner, he's going to be screwing into another red, and it's sometimes you're never certain if you're going to get perfect position on the colour, so he's got to judge this well.
15.
It's not bad. He'll have to play for the red now, I think, near the left corner pocket. If he can pot this and get good position, this is a frame-winning chance. There's no doubt about that. But this could be the key shot. Couldn't have played it better. Absolutely perfect.
Twenty-seven.
Similar situation again. If he takes the red to the right corner, the cue ball is going to go into the other red. So this time I think the options off red to the left-hand side, easily the better.
$28.
But he hasn't got the angle on the pink to get behind the reds this time, so he may have to hold for the one to the extreme left of that cluster of 4.
Well, you saw Ronnie point his cue where he wanted the cue ball to finish. He's over-screwed there. And another excellent shot. The only slight problem here, he's thin on the blue. To guarantee position, he may have to run into this cluster of 4. Needs a bit of luck. And as we always say, it doesn't matter how much talent you've got when you're running into other balls. And looking at the scoreboard, he's not won this frame yet. 60 ahead, 67 remains. Only looking for one more red. Cut in the left corner. It's there. The colour would make certain of the frame. 61 points in front, 59 left on the table. He needs a bit of a cushion here, and the colour would do that.
This just the kind of start Ronnie O'Sullivan needed, and Stephen Hendry not potted a ball so far. Hasn't really had a chance. But this is a pretty impressive start from Ronnie. After yesterday, he didn't look at ease, but he looks better today already.
Yes, and what's been impressive, Ray, is the fact that we know how quick Ronnie is, but he's not forced it. He's walked round, he's played some super positional shots, and sometimes you just got to let the rhythm come. But if you can start off well and get your confidence, as I said earlier, get the pace of the table, then he might quicken up. But I think after last night he realised how important these first few frames were.
I'm sure Stephen will stay in his chair. He does. So Ronnie O'Sullivan takes the opening frame of this second session. He's still 3 behind though at 6-3 to Stephen Hendry.
This afternoon's session, Hendry still to enjoy the moment when a ball goes in the pocket.
Well, now this is the kind of shot Ronnie missed early yesterday on several occasions. Normally he's so good with them. Like that. And that's created quite a decent chance. Black certainly available to the right corner. Several reds in good position.
Fine. $12. 30. 20. 21. 28. 29. 30. 34.
Well, I've come a little bit straight on the black here, so I've got to adjust the positional side of the shot. Oh, lovely shot. Lovely touch of right-hand side to
42.
let it come off the cushion, avoid the cannon into the red. He's now going to play into the left corner.
43.
Just overdone that slightly. He's just getting to the point now where the next red isn't that obvious. Boys, he's starting to play.
48.
Yeah, he's going to run into the red and pink this time, so he's not quite sure where it might finish. And
49.
that could have been a lot better. This black is a tough pot. But he's no shot at the pink or blue. Safety's not easy, so he's got to take this on, and this needs to go in. And it deserved a better kiss on the red there. Although he may be on one to this right corner. So it was
57.
perfect. So every chance now to go on. And perhaps pull another one back. There you see it, just
64.
red colour red.
$65.
Well, 6 times world champion, that's all he's done, break off. And of course, that's what we say about this game. No matter how good you are when you're sat in your chair, you just got to watch.
70.
And this has been a superb start for Ronnie O'Sullivan. The neutrals, and I'd put me as one, was a bit frightened that Stephen might be running away with this match. When we get to this stage of the World Championship, we're looking for, well, real close, exciting matches. And, well, Ronnie O'Sullivan having a complete reverse of the start of this
76.
match.
77.
And great snooker.
$81. 84. 89. 90.
6 minutes coming up for this break.
97. 98.
Well, what a wonderful break. Time out of the break, Ray, and he's not as quick as some of them,
104.
but he's just taken it with consummate ease. And whenever he's had a difficult pot to play, he's just given it a bit of thought, the black halfway through, and then thought, right, it's the only shot to play. Got down, knocked it in, sweet as a nut.
$116.
So that
122.
total of centuries of last year being approached. That's the 45th of this year's championship, and Ronnie O'Sullivan gets a mighty cheer. He's pulled another one back. 6-4 now to Stephen Hendry. Ronnie has scored 209 points in the first 2 frames, and he's in with a great chance. Complete reversal of the opening frames yesterday.
Eight. Nine. Twelve. Thirty.
Yeah, a little straighter on this black. Position would be a formality, but you just don't give it an extra thought. And he's such a talent that if he didn't rush into it and make a careless mistake, well, he can achieve anything. He can pot anything, he can play any shot on the table. I think after that performance against John Parrott, that's why a lot of us thought, well, he can win this title because he was playing a game that was being fair to his ability.
25.
This is a great start.
$30. 31.
Stephen's done precious little wrong. A couple of long pots missed, just as his opponent did yesterday, and he's been punished and made to sit in the chair. He's been around long enough
38.
to have seen this type of sustained attack before.
39.
And nobody better adjusted to the long frame format, the long match format, extra frames, but if it carries on, he'll start to get worried. At the moment, he'll just be
47.
thinking, I'll get a chance shortly, and I've got to maintain my concentration and wait for it.
$54. $55.
So, if he pots the black and cannons into the cluster, it works out okay. It's not bad. Doesn't look as though Stephen Hendry will get an opportunity to score a point in this frame either. What a
63.
start. I remember in 1972 when Alex Higgins played John Spencer, who was then considered as the best player in the world. And they played 6 sessions in that session.
69.
And I remember people were writing poems about the way Higgins performed that night. Well, maybe they could get the pencil and paper out this time, because this is poetry
76.
in motion.
77. $85. $93.
Well, all I can say is just a privilege to sit here and watch this. This is magic.
101.
Yeah, that century break total ticking over
108.
as fast as Ronnie can play. Now 46 this year.
Yes, and that century break took just less than 5 minutes, so he's beginning to speed up.
110. 130. 170.
When he potted the brown there, I heard a gasp from somebody in the audience. I think that's really all we can do at this exhibition of snooker.
122.
Gasp.
$128. 135 and the play.
A magnificent 135 clearance in immaculate style by Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A number of years, like Davis was before him.
Looking forward to see if he can win the championship 7th time.
He knows how to behave.
Hendry, the classic. O'Sullivan, enigmatic.
He's quick, enigmatic. Hoping he comes back.
I can just turn it on when he needs to, I think, and he's going to, definitely.
So it could be a rather interesting day.
Hendry had been 6-2 ahead. O'Sullivan did well to come back in the second. So let's pick it up in the opening frame of the morning. That's frame 17, right from the start. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. Describing it for you, Dennis Taylor and Clive Everton.
That's an ominous start from Stephen Hendry. First attempt at a pot, it was a long one, and cued that one very smoothly. And immediately leaves himself a very good chance. Just look at the way the balls are placed.
Each player in turn made a stunning start to the two previous sessions. In the first session, Hendry away to 3-0 without O'Sullivan potting a ball. Yesterday afternoon, it was O'Sullivan
11.
who took the first 3 frames without Hendry potting a ball.
12.
Just slightly the wrong side of the black. So he's having to play this with the reverse side. Or he might have an angle to stun off the top cushion there. But he really had to force it. And that was about as well as he could manage there.
90.
But it's the wrong angle again to get nicely onto the black. Now he's going to open some of the reds up and try and get the white back to somewhere where it is at the moment.
20. 27. $28. $35. $36. $41.
Maybe okay. It's a very good split that he did get. He's got one to the left centre.
$42.
Start. Former 6 times Embassy champion. It looks very cool.
$49. $50.
O'Sullivan knows there's every possibility that Hendry will win the frame at this visit, to put him 3 frames behind.
$57. $58.
He only needs one more red
65.
and the black, and he'll have clinched this opening frame.
$66.
A round of applause, not for the easy black, but for the fact that they know that that did win the frame for Stephen.
74.
This amazing standard continues, Clive. It's quite exceptional.
Yes, we can say that of both semi-finals.
81. $82.
This break, following O'Sullivan's break off, it left Hendry a long red, and we're seeing the outcome.
$89.
no question of setting a new target for the highest break prize, which is £20,000. John Higgins's 142 is safe for this frame.
$96. 97.
There's an immaculate central though.
103.
Black from the last red and a clearance would make it 138.
$104.
Looks like it'll be a 137. That's if he pots the pink.
First shot of the morning though. Great start for Hendry. It puts him 3 frames clear at 10-7. Friendly kiss on the green.
He'd like to be able to get onto the red that's on the black spot. So to be red back for the blue, and then possibly up for that red that's very close to the black spot.
6.
Although the black, if he plays for it, it's not going to be a formality because he was just looking to see if there was a red available into the right corner. So he's thinking 3 shots ahead there.
12.
You'd have to be very precise to leave that on, so. How's his judgment? He may be a little bit short. The only
90.
other possibility is to make the 2 balls into a plant. They're a long way off line for the pocket, but he could make it and would stay nicely on the black.
27.
And all of a sudden, there's a frame-winning chance.
28.
I think winning that last frame has just given Ronnie sort
35.
of the boost that he needed. Stephen Hendry had a bad contact, causing him to miss the black off the spot, and Ronnie stepped in.
36.
O'Sullivan so good at those precision cannons when he's in a break building situation.
You just take the extension,
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to playing Ronnie O'Sullivan on the 11th of May up in the Telly West Arena in Newcastle in a special charity night. And on that night, Ronnie will be partnering Alan Shearer, the Newcastle and England footballer, and I'll be partnering Shea Given, Newcastle and Irish goalkeeper. And we've also got an 8-year-old coming along in the evening,
49.
Steve Craigie, who's made a century break, so
50.
we'll be looking forward to the Telly West on the 11th of May.
$57. $58.
Well, O'Sullivan was only 10 when he made his first century.
65.
15 when he made his first 147 in competition.
66.
And in John Pike's phrase, the greatest natural talent the game has ever seen.
73. 74.
And once he gets on a roll, he's simply terrific.
81.
So fast, so fluent.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
In that case, so careless. But at least he made 81 first to win the frame and reduce Hendry's lead to 10-9.
Yes, that was.
That was a good chance. No kick this time, just bad cueing.
Hendry was well in and apparently going towards re-establishing a 2-frame lead.
8.
He left O'Sullivan a great chance to counter, but O'Sullivan would certainly have preferred to have been straighter on this red to right corner.
This is quite a thin one. That was some shot. All the pressure in the world on that. Had he have missed it, I'm sure he would have lost the frame.
$70. Yep.
I think the little triangle of reds are all blocking each other out.
25.
Still got the one that's on the left middle pocket. But maybe the back one of those 3 pots into this same pocket, and that will really open things up
32.
because it'll make the other 2 available.
$33.
Ideal position lost. The kick may well have been responsible,
41.
O'Sullivan has to pot all the remaining reds to win the frame at this visit.
48. $49.
Ronnie O'Sullivan would have set a stall out to win the first.
56.
Well, to win this session 3-1 to level the scores. He's on his
57.
way to doing that. All about this one. He's wanting the white cleaning. So red in colour. And we could be all square. What a match.
$70. 72.
Hendry led 38-0 in this frame. Missed a straightforward black from its spot.
75.
And it's going to be 10-all at the mid-session interval.
79.
Two exceptional frames from
84.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 81, and both balls off the table.
Yes, couldn't wait for the cue ball to stop rolling.
With that 84, O'Sullivan levels the match at 10-all. Yes, good choice of shot. That red slightly more difficult, but if he'd taken the outside one and just missed it, he was leaving O'Sullivan an easy one to right middle.
$8. 9. 16. 70.
So difficult to pick a
24.
winner between these two players. But if you're to go on experience, Stephen Hendry, wow, 6 embassy titles. He's been here so many times before. He's very good at pacing himself over the long matches. But it's still on the toss of a coin who's going to eventually reach the final.
Immense determination and concentration going into this from Hendry. O'Sullivan hoping for a mistake. One did arrive very unexpectedly in the last frame when Hendry was on 38-0.
Very interesting. He didn't feel happy on the shot first time. He got up and composed himself and got down again. He knew the importance of this long red. And as you mentioned, Clive, in that previous frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan cleared up at the break of 84 to take it. And he had a break of 81 in the frame previous to that, so Stephen Hendry trying to kill this frame off if he possibly can.
$49. $56. $57.
He wanted a bit more angle on the black. Not sure if that red next to the pink, he may be able to get onto that one. It'd be interesting to see whether he goes into the reds or plays for the one next to the blue. He needs a few more pots. It's a natural angle to go into the reds.
Into the bunch, hoping for an easy one to pop out of it, to give him the one remaining red he needs to leave O'Sullivan leading a snooker.
I think everyone thought he almost knocked the green in there. Amazing the pace he played that at. He only needed the red. I think he was after the high break prize there, Clive. He wanted to get right back up the table.
77.
He was, in fact, on a maximum, but his overriding objective surely is to win this frame. And he is going to do that.
78.
And he does have a chance to supersede the highest break.
Amazing, I was concentrating so much on the break, didn't realise it was all blacks. But the crowd did. There was gasps when he cannoned the green. They knew what Stephen Hendry was after. And nice to see Stephen Hendry having a laugh with referee John Williams, but he has been so relaxed over the past 15 days.
Still on course for a possible 144.
'93. '94.
If he's to beat the high break, he could take one pink with the last two reds and still beat that 142, but it's going to be very difficult. He won't play for the blue. He'll be screwing back for pink or black.
No highest break prize, not that time anyway, but a break of 101 enables Hendry to regain the lead at 11-10.
No score yet.
One. Three.
Yeah, the brown was always going to be a problem in playing that shot. He's done well to finish on a red, but if he's straight on this, well, he's got an angle, so he can get to pink or blue.
Four.
It just depends on the angle he has on the pink here. If it's straight, he can drop nicely on a red. It's just off straight, but no problem. You can just avoid the reds or just nudge them.
Ten.
Perfectly judged to nudge black away from the red and leave it potable.
'18.
And each time that Ronnie O'Sullivan draws level, Stephen Hendry seems to be able to lift his game, and it really has been a splendid match, this.
90.
Has left this a little thinner than intended.
Doesn't have to go into the reds if he doesn't want. There's one available to the left corner. He can just drop the blue in.
$32. $33.
You have to go into them this time, though. And that is just 40. Spot on. Terrific chance now.
41. $48. $49.
Already 2 centuries in this session, so this is
55.
vintage Stephen Hendry we're watching. Back to his best.
56. $63.
Just red and high value colour. And O'Sullivan would need a snooker.
64. $69. $70.
So what with his 101 in the previous frame and this 70, Hendry has kept O'Sullivan 25 minutes without potting a ball.
Well, that was a terrific shot because he was almost straight on the pink. How he managed to force that angle. That was special.
77.
White just bouncing off the cushion. A lot quicker than he thought.
$84.
85. $92. $93.
Well, this is the Hendry of old. Back-to-back centuries.
100.
Thought the red moved the brown. It was a good effort.
101.
He might play for the yellow this time, leave an angle to move the brown. So if this comes off, he could have a total clearance.
106.
Didn't quite move it enough, but he'll have another go at it here.
108.
Centuries, 101, and in that frame 108 takes Stephen Hendry 2 frames clear at 12.10.